This is part 2 of my video. I've always wanted to raise awareness about postpartum depression and anxiety. Although you hear of it, the people that are suffering don't have very many outlets. I found that out when I gave birth to my second. So please take the time to reach out to a friend or a family member who has recently delivered and just talk to them, see how they're doing, if they need anything, if they just need to talk, or if they need to vent about something that's going on. This video is going to be mainly about steps that I have taken to better myself with the diagnosis of major depression and anxiety. First off and foremost, do not take "you're fine" as an answer, because you're not. Speak until someone listens, until you just utterly feel like there's no one left. Speak again. Finding time for yourself. It can be maddening some days when you have so much on your plate, or you feel like you have so much on your plate. Take the time, 5-10 minutes a day, just to relax, just for yourself, because without you, there is nobody else. There is nobody else in your family. There is no friends without you. Find something that helps distract you. This is one thing that actually worked very well for me. Music has been my number one go-to. Especially if I'm having a hard time getting up out of bed in the morning, I will put on my headphones and I will listen to some upbeat music, and it will get me in a better mood. It will get me wanting to get up out of bed. It will get me wanting to goofy dance with my children or the mop, whoever may be the poor individual that I wake up to. You have heard, I'm sure, enjoy the small things. Well, no one ever tells you what the small things are. That's what I felt when I heard this. No one really tells you what the small things are that you enjoy. Currently, my small thing that I enjoy is going out and checking on the beans that I planted, and how each day the plants are getting bigger and bigger. And any day now, they will start climbing up the trellis that I have put out for them. Talk about what's going on with someone who will listen. A pet. You know, I talk to my cat. I've talked to my birds. I've talked to my fish. The great thing about them is that you could just pour your heart and soul out, and all they can do is sit there and comfort you. All they can do is sit there and know that you're upset, but they have no words of wisdom to give you other than the comfort that they can. Everybody has that one friend that you can call up and shoot the breeze with. I have a particular friend that if I will say something along the lines of "did you hear" or "did you know," that could turn into an hour-long conversation with many jokes. Find online groups. There are several for mothers with postpartum or people suffering from anxiety and depression. You're not the only one. These emotions, these thoughts that go through your head, you aren't the only one, and use other people's experiences to help you with your own. Also, very important, don't leave your significant other out of this. Don't leave your partner out of this. Tell them what's going on. It creates nothing but confusion. They can't read your mind. Let them know that something's wrong and you're working on it, or you're trying to find a way to work on it. Music shows some way of distracting yourself. When you feel that tightness in your chest, when you feel like you're overwhelmed, time for Game of Thrones, time for Futurama, time for The Simpsons. Do things that you enjoy. Okay. This was said to me by a doctor. It was raining a lot during the time. Oh, I know you can't go outside and enjoy the weather and everything along those lines. And in my head, I'm sitting here going, I love the rain. It could rain like this for months and I'd be a happy camper. But some people aren't like that. See, she suggested for me to go up the mall with my youngest in a stroller and walk around. The thought of that, doing that, no, that's not me. That's not what I do. But that's okay, because I did find out things that I do like to do. I like to plant. I like to write. I like to read. I have a very artistic side to me that doesn't include drawings, because I'm horrible with that. If you can decipher my stick figures, then you're doing well. Write down the dreams that you have. I know this might seem particularly odd for this subject, but what I have found is that my dreams are amusing. Even if I don't remember them, when I write them down and I read them the next day, I'm like, wow, subconscious brain, what are you doing? And it's almost like reading a story that has been made up by your brain without you knowing. That's in my own experience. I do have some very vivid dreams. Some of them are very short and don't make sense. I had a dream the other day where it was New York City on fire, but the fire was only 3 feet tall. It wasn't climbing anything, but the whole island, Manhattan, everything was on fire, but it was only 3 feet tall. I don't know why. Write down short-term goals. Okay, this has been said to me by multiple therapists. And in my head, short-term goals. What are short-term goals? A week? A month? A couple of months? No. Because that's not dealing with the here and now. Because that's what you're dealing with, is the here and now. Write down your goals for the day. Write down, do the dishes. Write down, fold laundry. These are very simple goals, but it gives you a sense of satisfaction, a sense of pride, when you can go over to that list and scratch something off and I have accomplished something today. Long-term goals are great to write down, but as you're struggling or when you're having a bad day, write down short-term goals for the day. There's nothing wrong with that. And there's nothing wrong with looking at that list at the end of the day and going, I have accomplished something. I have a sense of pride. Another thing that has really stuck with me was a conversation that I had with my little sister. And she is much younger than me, but I give her so much credit for being beyond her years. She said that something that helped her because she had major spinal surgery, and she ended up developing PTSD from that. It was very scary for her. It was adolescence, puberty. And she told me that one of the things that really helped her was when she learned something new. At first I was like, okay. But she was telling me how she was learning Japanese, which is awesome. but I like to plant things. I like to learn about what plants at what time, organic, permaculture, um, sustainable living. I like watching those things. Will I ever accomplish sustainable living? No. But do I admire the people that can do it? And do I admire that the knowledge that they give me at the end of the day? Yes, I do. Just because they're doing something that I may never want to accomplish doesn't mean I don't gain knowledge on their day-to-day living with their videos. Another thing, ignore as best as you can. Get rid of those toxic people out of your life. They're not going to help you, and they never are. They will always bring you down. Get rid of them. If you can't get rid of them, if it's a family member that you're stuck with, and even though you're trying to rid them out of your life, another family member always brings them over, ignore them. They will never bring joy into your life. And you only want people around you that bring joy, happiness, and compassion into your life. Can't emphasize enough on finding help. Even if it's calling up the National Suicide Hotline. Talk to somebody. It will have a chain reaction. You will start at one and feel like you will never get anywhere, but one will lead to 2, that will lead to 20, that will lead to 50. And you will look back and thank yourself for going to 1. It can be difficult. You're going to have bad days. Find that joy. Don't find it for anybody else but you. Because without your joy, without your sense of accomplishment, without your pride, the people around you are going to deteriorate. There is nobody else but you until you let others around you. Don't be that toxic family member. Don't let your spouse sit there and cry at night because they don't know what's wrong. They don't know why you're pushing them away. Do something small and make it into something large that affects your life, that affects who you want to be, your dreams, your goals, your ambitions, because you can do them. Although this diagnosis is here, I know that I can reach my goals and my dreams. I may go off path. I may go in a circle, but I will eventually get there. And so will you.